G'day everybody, welcome back to World of Tanks with Napalm. This is the Object 274A, a tank that you're probably very well aware of at the moment, seeing as it is currently available as part of the marathon, which should be ending in a couple of hours at the time of recording this video. So, the Object 274A, what's good about it? Why should you get it? Is it worth buying it right now if you're close to it? If you've saved up a 60-70% discount, is it really worth heading over to cash? This is what we're going to be talking about today. And this replay is actually played by myself on El Haluf. We are in a top tier battle up against an IS-22 Oho Tiger 2, Super Pershing, a couple of nasty tank destroyers, and plenty of tier 7s to come up against. So the IS-22, bit of a threat for us, considering that that double gun could be quite a threat, but the team at the moment is a bit confused about what tank we're playing. This is before the NDA was lifted. So first shot we're rolling out 315, quite a low roll considering the average damage of this is 320. But it certainly does feel much more punchy than a normal T-44-100 or another Tier 8 Russian medium tank, because despite the look of this, and despite the armor as you just saw there, this tank actually is a medium tank. Not that you would think it, though, considering that it is very, very sluggish. It has a great top speed, but it can't reach that top speed very well, and the reason for that is that it doesn't have good horsepower per ton. Beautiful shot there into the CS-44, 336, and we're blocking the returning fire from the CS-44. Take one in return, but we're trading very well here, and this is the Alpha once again proving effective. Now here's this IS-22 that I mentioned earlier, looking for that tiny lower frontal plate, can't quite connect it, and well, we'll be seeing him a little bit later in the game. So the Object 274A, standard rounds, 227mm of penetration, is actually pretty good for a tier 8 medium tank. It's among some of the better penetration for a standard shell, and you'll probably get away with firing standard. But if you choose to fire the premium round, as I am doing right now, you have 289mm of pen. It's amazing. And so you will deal with much more armored targets easily. So you can see here the CS-44 hull down, we are easily able to penetrate him, and despite the gun depression actually being quite a problem for us, we are basically holding our ground here against multiple targets. We are currently up 3-0. Now we don't have the gun depression to engage this Super Pershing here, so at the moment the CS-44 is our priority target. We flip over, have a quick look, but not really something that we can deal with at the moment. High explosive rounds, for anyone curious, not amazing, but we are looking at the potential of 420 damage with 62mm of penetration. Interesting point to note, the APCR on the this tank, 1,304 meters a second, is actually pretty good for a medium tank, so don't be surprised if you don't need to lead your APCR shells that much. So you can see here, now we have a different angle on the CS-44. We whiff our shot, a bit unfortunate there, but now we actually have the angle to use our gun depression and get shots off. Problem is though, the gun depression not quite good enough to crest this completely. It's not an ML1 unfortunately. And so, without overextending, which we don't want to do, considering there are two very, very nasty tier 8 tank destroyers, the Scorpion and the Borsig. So at the moment, we're just playing around here, looking to try and get shots, and this is what we're trying to do all the time with the Object 274A. Use that gun to outtrade. 320 alpha damage is higher than a lot of tier 8 heavy tanks and a lot of tier 8 medium tanks. It's only some of the more 122mm guns that can really start to, nice hammer there, start to really dish out the pain. So 122s, 128s, obviously you want to avoid these, anything up above that caliber. But when you're dealing with 76, 88, 105mm guns, you can definitely afford to trade 1-for-1 with this tank, and you'll get a decent result. Beautiful shot into the side of the Oho there. So, at the moment with the scores on 5-1, we have blocked 2,000 damage, and we've done 2,000 damage. There's our friend, the IS-22 again. RNG spouts its ugly head and says no, but it once again shows the weakness of this tank is the horrible aim time. For such a high caliber gun, the aim time is the real weakness, and this is something that you're really going to have to factor in if you're buying this tank. Do you really want to play something with such a bad aim time? If you're brawling like this and playing like a heavy tank, which it can do, it absolutely works. But trying to hit targets at long range, you're really going to struggle. That shot there, pretty badly aimed, I'm not proud of that one. Let's see if we can finish off the IS-22 with the next one. Perfect, very well done. So we're certainly on 3,000 damage at the moment here. About to pick up our next kill on the KV-3. And a couple of you are probably wondering, okay, now, you're having a pretty good game. Get to the point. Do I really want to buy this tank? If you are a person that has gone down a Soviet medium tank line, like a Object 140 or the Object 430U, you will probably want a crew trainer at some point. T-44-100 is a great choice. T-3485M at Tier 6 is a great choice, but it's not a Tier 8. If you're looking to get some solid credits, some solid crew training in, the Object 274A, especially considering it's discounted, is a great choice. That being said, if you're a person that already has a couple of premium tanks, be prepared, its gun is derpy. The only reason we're doing 62 kilometers an hour at the moment is I am running a turbocharger on this. And that is something that a player will have to consider, how they want to set up their Object 274A. It is a topic among a lot of the community contributors that has been really intensely discussed. Do you run turbocharger? Do you run ventilation, improve rotation, vertical stabilizers? A lot of it's all heavily debated. For other tanks, like the new Italian heavy tank I was seeing playing on stream on Sunday night, I actually chose to run a gun lane drive. That might actually be a good choice for this tank. But in my opinion, I've personally picked... I'm not even paying attention here. I personally picked the turbocharger to make sure that I can actually get to the fight. But this game's just about done, and a very solid result in the Object 274A. But let's have a quick look at the post-game results and see just how well we actually did. Alrighty, so looking at the post-game results here on this El battle in the Object 274A, we can see we've got a ace tanker for doing 4,102 damage, 4 kills, and blocking 2,740 damage. We also spotted 3 targets and picked up the high caliber and steel war medals, as well as some of the other medals which are a little bit more forgotten. Shell-proof, fire for effect, fighter, and bruiser. Looking at the team score, we definitely topped that one with 1,476 base XP. The next highest on our team, 1,121, done by the Carnarvons. So very well played to the Carnarvon there. And the enemy team not quite having as much luck. The Tiger 2 on the enemy team pulling out a respectable 3,000 damage. So looking at the detail report, this is something that a lot of people are going to be curious. How good is it for credit earning? So at the time of playing this tank, I did not have a personal reserve running. I had battle payments for the clan running, but not a personal reserve. So for this particular battle, I fired quite a fair bit of APCR, and you might need to do that if you're up-tiered. If you're playing against tier 8s, or in a battle where you can afford to just keep firing AP, you're going to have a good time. But for this particular battle, I fired quite a fair bit of APCR, so we made a total of 1,500... Excuse me. We made a total of 155,801 credits there, which after resupply went back quite significantly to the total of 67,277. Now the reason for this is that I was of course running food, which I had to pay the 20,000 for, but I was also running a snapshot directive, because I was experimenting at the time seeing whether the directive would actually help to offset some of the gun handling problems with this tank. Not a cheap way to run this tank, but be prepared if you're not running a snapshot directive or you're not running food, or both, you're really going to have a bit of a hard time fighting the gun to get it to do what you want it to do. Especially if you're firing APCR and you don't have a premium account, you're going to be looking at potentially losing a couple of credits. That being said, if you have credit boosters, absolutely run them. You could be making a massive profit with this tank if you're having a good game. The auto repair, not too bad, but the XP for that game, 1,476 base XP. After personal missions payouts and the bonus for the premium vehicle, 15,719 total base XP. Not bad for a 7-minute game. So folks, the Object 274A. As you can see at the moment, mine has currently expired on rental. Is it really going to be worth your time and money in order to get this tank? Honestly, there are better options out there if you're looking at getting another tier 8 medium tank. T44-100 here, a great choice. D54 first prototype, while a little bit outdated, is still a very, very good tank. STG Guard, okay, probably not one of the better tanks, but for those that enjoy heavy and medium tank gameplay, definitely consider picking this up, considering that the discounted price on this tank at the moment is actually pretty good. If we have a look at the moment, considering my personal account here, I'm sitting on stage 7 and I'm about 6,000 XP off getting stage 7 completed and a 70% discount. So I'm only really going to be paying about $20, $30 for a tier 8 premium, which is not too bad. I'm happy to pay that. And for some people that are looking to get a solid tier 8 premium on a budget, this is certainly a good opportunity. So I would certainly suggest having a good think. I believe the tank will be available for a couple of days after the marathon has finished. But if you're looking to pick up one of your first tier 8 premium tanks, now is a great time to do so. This is a tank that will certainly help you grind credits. It will be a tank that will help you grind up your crews. Be aware, the gun will fight you. I cannot wait to see what this tank will do in the frontlines mode, where it doesn't have to worry about all the random battle issues with penetration, with aim time. Being able to sit in a defensive position in the Object 274A in frontlines, I think will be an absolutely fantastic experience. I look forward to it. But do you disagree? Let me know in the comments section. Your community support is something that keeps everyone going. And I will see you all next time, folks, with another World of Tanks video. Until then, take care, and I'll see you then.